I stopped reading self-help books, and this is why. Back in 2022, I took up the habit of reading. At that time, it was good. It was a new hobby, so to say, and I immersed myself in self-help books. At that time, I learned a lot about productivity. I learned a lot about just living a fulfilled life, and it was amazing to just get to see life from a different angle. And I take books as people who are sharing their perspective. So at that time for me, it was good, and I was seeing the results. My favorite book at that time was the 5 a.m. Club, and I really loved it. Learning about the morning stillness, learning about just to ensure that you are starting your day right in general. And it didn't take me too long to discover that I was in a cycle. So after I finished reading the 5 a.m. book club, I started now reading all other books. And it's like kama singesoma hii book or kama singesoma book yoyote ingine, it's like there's something that I'm missing. It's like a habit that I've cultivated, and sometimes it's like an addiction that you can't move on, your day can't start without maybe me reading. But what that does is that it keeps you in a cycle, and before long you discover you're not implementing anything that you're learning, but rather you're just kind of just in a cycle of reading or consuming so much knowledge. But I didn't take long to discover why some things were not working for me, and this is why. Number one, most of these writers are from a different geographical location. Most of them ni wazungu. For us, I'm a Kenyan and I'm an African, and there's no one size fits all. People are from different backgrounds, people are from different cultures, and whatever works for them may not work for me. Number two is the issue of self-discipline versus body, and it all glorifies the art of, teaches us to kind of master our thoughts, teaches us to be in control, and we are the determinants of things. And sometimes our bodies fail us. Sometimes we wake up and you don't feel like doing anything. Sometimes if you keep pushing too much, you will collapse. I'm not saying that you are not supposed to be consistent, but there has to be a balance. You cannot be all work. You have to do this at a particular time. You have to kind of rest, or your body will force you to rest. Number three, it glorifies the hustle culture. Work hard, play hard. We all have 24 hours in a day, and sometimes this is not it. And especially when it comes to our overall well-being, we cannot just keep up. Number four is that it's a money-making business, because for some of these writers, it's like a specific line, and there's a second one, there's a third one, meaning people are consuming this kind of things, and it's not a bad thing. But it reaches a point where now it has stopped being about what you intended in the first place to now it's now something that you're using as a cash cow. So sometimes when money is involved, you tend to lose the original meaning, the original purpose of why you started something. Number five, it gives the illusion that you are successful. Before you come for me, listen, hear me out. When you start practicing what you're being told in the books, it kind of makes you think that you are now successful without doing the actual work. So it's important that you get out from that and apply the things that you learn in real life. Otherwise, it will be just a cycle, like I said in the beginning, and you find that you think that you're on the right path, but clearly you're not, because there's no work and there's no results. Having said that, it's important that we don't trash self-help books. You can gain and benefit from them a lot, but first you have to have a shift in perspective. Read them as you would read any other book and try to learn from others. Number two is that take it with a pinch of salt. Some things will be applicable, some things will not. You have to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Again, we have different journeys, we have different aspirations, and we have different goals. Number three, take actions for the things that you have learned. Sometimes you will be amazed, you will be like, wow, right? All the amazing things that you learn, it's important that you put them into good use and put them into action. Number 4, understand that success is not only from hard work. Success does not come from all the things that we have to do and we have to work for them to get meet. Sometimes, and most times, it's a matter of luck, it's a matter of being in the right place at the right time. So sometimes we can do everything that we ought to do and still there will be no results, and that is a sad reality. Lastly is to understand that you don't have to do things in a particular way, and not being able to do some things that does not really mean that you're failing. You're just your own person, you have your own way of doing things. And am I going to be reading self-help books? I'll read all books, and the main goal is to learn, the main goal is to grow, and the main goal is to keep developing and learn from all other things, videos, learn from people, just talk to people and engage in conversation. So they are not the only thing, but they are something. Until next time, this is AskDamaris.com.